everyone, welcome to Zen Zone Yoga. Today we are going to be doing a beginner vinyasa flow towards dancer. So this is what dancer looks like. You balance on one foot, pick up your other foot behind you, grab onto your foot with your hand, and lean forward into dancer pose. And we'll do the other side, because in yoga, everything you do on the right, you have to do on your left. So that is dancer, that is what we're working towards. So in order to accomplish that, we're going to be doing a slight back bend, obviously balancing on one leg, and we're going to be focusing on keeping the other leg straight. So if you will come with me onto the mat in a seated position, let's just come to a comfortable seat, hands together in prayer at your heart, and close your eyes. Take a couple deep breaths. And as we begin this practice, let's focus in opening up our hearts to whatever may come. This may be more difficult than some of the other practices, but that's okay, because that's just it. It's just a practice. So let's open up to having fun and making mistakes and being worry-free for a few minutes here on our mat. So open your eyes and come to sit facing the front of your mat with your legs out straight in front of you. Reach your arms up in the air and fall down over your feet. Go as low as you can. If that's just sitting up like this, that's totally fine, but eventually we want to be able to touch our toes, grab onto our feet, and pull down. We're lengthening through our hamstrings. And come on up, and we're going to do a seated twist. So put your hands behind you to stabilize. Lift up your right leg, plant your right foot outside of your left knee. Left elbow hooks onto your knee, and twist and breathe. And untwist, same on the left. Pick up your left foot, plant it outside of your right knee, hook your right elbow outside of your left knee, and twist and breathe. Now come back to center. Grab the outside of your left heel through the inside of your leg. So you're weaving your arm around through your leg, grab your heel, and pull it straight. This is sort of a modified compass pose. So we're just really looking to lengthen the leg and back to center. Now the same thing with the right leg. So weave your arm through your leg, grab the outside of your heel, and pull it up towards the sky. And sit back down, reach your arms all the way up, and we're going to come into a tabletop position. So, hands under your shoulders, knees under your hips, straight back. We're gonna go right into a balancing table. So, right arm out in front of you, left leg out behind you, toes tucked. And then bring your left leg up, making a straight line between your toes and your fingertips. And drop it down. We'll do the other side. So left arm out in front, right leg behind, toes tucked, and raise that leg up, point your toes, straight line from your toes to your fingertips. And back down. And now we are going to come into a child's pose. So put your toes together, knees apart. And come on down onto your hips, onto your heels with your hips. And breathe. Really stretch out that back. Walk your fingertips forward. We're going to roll forward into a cobra. So come onto the tops of your legs and feet with your hands under your shoulders and push up. Engage through the legs. Now we're going to really engage through the legs. Push up into the tops of your feet, lifting your knees and your thighs up off the mat into upward facing dog. So push and your whole body rises up. You're now only on the palms of your hands and the tops of your feet for up dog. And now tuck your toes, push your hips up and back, and land in downward facing dog. And move as you need to come into this position comfortably. And once you've found center here, look forward, come up onto your toes, and walk to the front of your mat, landing in Uttanasana, forward fold. And then breathe in, arms all the way up, Urdhva Hastasana. Breathe out, forward fold, Uttanasana. Breathe in halfway up, either on your fingertips or on your shins. Breathe out, step your right foot back into downward facing dog. Breathe in, roll forward to a high plank. Breathe out, roll forward even more and lower all the way down to the mat. One straight line. Untuck your toes and breathe in, push up into cobra. Tuck your toes, push up and back into downward facing dog. Breathe out. Find your center. Look forward to the front of your mat and walk to the front of your mat, landing in Uttanasana, forward fold. Breathe out. Breathe in, come all the way up to Urdhva Hastasana. Breathe out, forward fold, Uttanasana. Breathe in halfway. Breathe out, step your left leg back into downward facing dog. Breathe in, roll forward to high plank. Breathe out, roll forward even more and lower all the way down to the ground. Breathe in, untuck your toes, push up into cobra. Breathe out, tuck your toes, push your hips up and back, downward facing dog. And find your center here. You can let your head wobble loose, that feels really nice. You can walk it out with your legs if that feels good. You can wobble side to side or front and back, whatever feels good for you. We'll just hang out here for a minute. Just try to keep those legs long. If you've walked it out, now's the time to steady your legs. And look forward. And we're going to bend our knees and hop to the front of our mat. So ready, and hop. And come on up to Tadasana. Now for this next move, we're gonna wanna walk back to the back of our mats. So we're gonna need more room. We're going to do something that I haven't introduced yet on this channel called a pistol squat. So we're going to begin in forward fold. So bend down over your feet. Then we're going to pick up our left leg, stick it out in front of us, and squat onto our right foot. This is a pistol squat. And sit here for a minute, just feel how that feels. Then plant your front foot, keep your back foot where it is. Stand up. Now your front foot's gonna be facing forward and your back foot's gonna be at a 45. And we're going to bend over our front foot, keeping both legs straight into a pyramid pose. Now from here, go ahead and walk your hands a little bit forward. Bring that right foot up off the ground into a modified warrior 3. And now step your right foot back, bend your forward knee. Step your left foot back, downward facing dog. Now this time we're going to walk our hands back to meet our feet in Uttanasana forward fold. And now we're going to bring our right foot out in front of us, landing on our left foot for a pistol squat. Now plant your right foot, come up onto your left foot at a 45, both legs straight, folding over your right foot into a pyramid. Now come forward with your hands a little bit. Lift your left leg up off the ground for a modified warrior 3. And step back with your left foot, step back with your right foot, downward facing dog. Now we're going to do that one more time, a little bit faster, a little bit smoother. So walk your hands back to your feet, Uttanasana. Forward fold. Lift up your left foot, land on your right for a pistol squat. Then come up onto your left foot, legs straight for pyramid, hips facing forward. Up onto your left foot for warrior 3. Step back with your right foot, back with your left foot, downward facing dog. Walk your hands back to your feet for Uttanasana. Step your right foot out in front of you, landing on your left foot for a pistol squat. Plant your right foot, stand up with your left foot, legs straight, pyramid. Walk your hands forward, lift your left foot up off the mat for a warrior 3. Now put your left foot next to your right foot and come on up to Tadasana. So, that was fun, right? I liked it anyway. So come back to about the middle of your mat. We're going to come up into a tree pose next. So pick your left foot up off the mat, putting all your weight in your right foot, grounding through all 4 corners of your right foot. And you can put your foot on your, resting against your ankle. You can put it up against your calf, or you can use your hand to guide your foot up to your inner thigh for a tree pose. Arms out to a T and up over your head. We just never want to rest our heel against our knee because that can cause an injury. So ankle, calf, or inner thigh, not the knee. And from here, we're going to step our left foot forward, keeping or step your right foot back a little bit. We're going to keep our hands where they are, lower down into warrior 1, making a 90-degree angle with our front foot. And release your arms, step back to Tadasana. Now all your weight in your left foot, ground through all 4 corners of your foot. And then your right foot can either be on your ankle, your calf, or use your hand to place it on your inner thigh, just not on your knee. Arms out to a T, and then up over your head for tree pose. And step your right foot forward, left foot back. Keep your hands where they are, and lower down to make a 90-degree angle with your right leg. Now come on up to the front of your mat. We're going to do a wide-legged forward fold. So put your feet a little wider than hip distance apart. Both feet parallel together, to each other, I mean. Arms straight up into the air. And come down halfway. Nice straight back. Then put your hands between your feet, planted on the mat, and let gravity pull you down as far as you can. And come on up to halfway and all the way up. Now we are going to do our peak pose, which is dancer. So, just like tree, put all your weight in your right foot, planted through all four corners of your right foot. Now with your left, you're gonna kick your foot up towards your glute, grab onto the outside of your foot by the ankle, right hand forward, use your hand to pull your leg back, and at the same time lean forward into dancer. And then if you need to, you can drop your hand down to the mat to stabilize, or you can use a block to stabilize as well. Or if you want to just stay standing like this is also a good alternative to leaning all the way forward. So feel free to do any of those methods above. Then switch to the left leg. So plant through all four corners of your left foot. Come up onto your foot, right leg behind you, grab onto the outside of your foot with your hand and pull your foot back, lean forward with your left hand into dancer. And come on down. Now drop into forward fold, grabbing onto your elbows and just letting gravity pull you down. This will feel really good. Feet hip width apart for stability. And just hang here and breathe for a minute. You can sway back and forth, side to side. And then come on to your hands and knees. Now keep your knees hip width apart. Come up to the tops of your shins. And one at a time, drop your hands down to grab your heels for a camel pose. Chest open, chin up to the sky. And come on up. Go ahead and sit down. We're going to put our feet together for a bound angle. So pull your feet into your pelvis as far as you can. Hold on to your toes and lean up. Straight back. And from here, we're going to do something that feels really good after all this. And let go of your feet. Put your hands back behind you. Drop to your forearms. Keep your legs where they are. And just let your chin go up to the sky. And just arch your back ever so slightly in this position for fish pose. And go ahead and come all the way down to your back. Put your knees to your chest and hug them close. And spread your legs, reach between your legs, grab the outside of your heels and drop down to the mat for a happy baby. roll side to side here to massage your lumbar spine. After all of that back bending, this should feel really, really good. And then just sit here and find stillness and happy baby for a minute. Now release your feet. Drop your knees to the right. Use your right hand to push your knees down. Left arm out to the side. Gaze towards your fingertips. Supine twist. Now come back up to neutral. Drop your legs down to the left. Use your left hand to push them down, and right arm out to the side. Gaze towards your fingertips for a supine twist. Now come back to neutral. And we're going to extend our legs out one at a time for our final rest, Shavasana. Tuck your shoulder blades underneath you. Land with your palms facing up. And close your eyes if they weren't already. Let's take a few deep breaths. Now while we're taking these deep breaths, let's just think about the practice today and how nice it was to open up to new experiences and new poses and to just be able to go with the flow and have fun instead of worrying about our day-to-day problems for just a few minutes here. Activities like this are so good for your mental health because they give you a release. And yoga is especially good for that because you're focused so much on the asanas or poses that in order to achieve the poses correctly, your mind can't be on your to-do lists or anything else. You're just present in the moment. So why don't you go back to breathing normally? And let's just reflect on that and our gratitude for this practice today as we come into a moment of silence in Shavasana. When you're ready, I invite you to stay here in Shavasana for as long as you need to. Or if you're ready to bring awareness back into your physical body, do so by wiggling your fingers and toes. Bring your arms up over your head. Bring your knees up to your chest and roll over onto your side in the fetal position. And with your eyes closed, come up to a comfortable seated position on your mat. Put your hands in Anjali Mudra, the mudra of gratitude, in front of your heart, and bow your chin to your chest. Sealing in our practice and reflecting on why you came here today and if it It accomplished what you wanted it to. Go ahead and open your eyes. Thank you so much for joining me here today on the mat at Zen Zone Yoga. Join me next time for more. Thank you so much. Namaste.